Is God of War going to Egypt? We got big changes announced for PlayStation and Xbox. Some sad news, many layoffs happened this week as well. A ton to go over, so sit back and let's go. The week started with brand new Phil Spencer interviews from Destin Legary and Gamertech Radio, with the biggest takeaway basically being that there are no more red lines over any Xbox game coming to Nintendo or PlayStation. Now that doesn't mean that everything will come over, but most games will. Basically everything that has a chance of selling 1 million or more on other platforms like Forza Horizon 5. Like soon after the interviews, it was confirmed that the game is coming to PS5 in the spring of this year, with potentially a Switch 2 version happening as well. The announcement tweet has over 40,000 likes, like this is going to sell very well on PS5, probably more than Sea of Thieves last year, which was a huge success. So once again, the question was raised, why would people buy an Xbox if you can play all the games everywhere, but are missing out on Sony and Nintendo exclusives? Well, Phil of course said that hardware is still important to them. They are already hard at work on their next console, as we already knew, and he wants that to win based on capabilities. So features and power, I guess. But we've seen that time and time again that it doesn't really matter, because you could argue that the series consoles with quick resume, a better backwards compatibility, cross-save, play anywhere, is already doing more things than the PS5. Yet Sony's console is outselling the Xbox 5-1 in certain territories. Xbox hardware sales dropped 29% over the last 3 months. Now Game Pass did grow by 2%, but that doesn't seem like a lot considering they added Call of Duty and Indiana Jones during that period. 30% more on PC though, so that is totally a big jump. So yeah, the plan now seems to be offset the money they are losing from the Xbox hardware side by getting money from players who first never had access to Xbox games. So it's highly likely, and also based on rumors, that the next big games that will come to PlayStation in the foreseeable future are Starfield, Hellblade 2, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, maybe even the Gears of War trilogy, and of course future titles like Fable, Perfect Dark, and Gears of War E-Day. All bets are off now, and regarding the Xbox hardware, like, I'm very curious what they will do with the next Xbox to set it apart. I think launching before PS6 will help. What if they put Steam on it? Like, something crazy has to happen for them to still have a horse in the hardware race. And Xbox bringing all these games over to PlayStation could be seen as a nice gift for Sony. Like, Sony will of course get 30% from every Xbox title that gets sold on PS5, and this will also fill up the catalog on their machine, while they themselves are having a hard time releasing big bangers. So we saw a leadership shakeup at PlayStation this week. The big one is that Herman Hulst is not a co-CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment anymore. Now Hideaki Nishino, the previous co-CEO with Herman, is now the sole CEO. Meaning that Herman Hulst, while first being on even footing, now reports to him. Which, yes, can totally be seen as a demotion, but Herman still oversees all the PlayStation studios and the cross-media initiatives. So his role doesn't really change that much. But yeah, I still wonder if the 2 recent live service cancellations, on top of the many other recent failures, with Concord of course being the big one, if this has led to Herman's demotion, and if he might lose more power moving forward. He was basically promoted to lead Sony's venture into live service and mobile games and expand Sony's reach outside of the core console space, and so far only Helldivers 2 has been a success, while most of the 12 other planned live service games are no more. We only have Horizon Online, Marathon, and Fair Games left. And maybe there's like one potential unannounced title, so there's not only a lot riding on those projects for the future of Guerrilla Games, Bungie, and Haven, but I think it will also determine Herman's fate. I hope these future titles prove to be a hit though, because if Sony gets a golden goose, it also means that they can invest more in the big single player games that we all love. Because those titles will still be the most important factor for people to buy a console, and that's still Sony's core business. They also announced some changes this week. For one, they will cut down on the monthly PS4 PlayStation Plus Essential titles in January 2026. So while some titles after that point might still be playable on PS4, you should not expect one of those every month anymore. There will be way more focus on PS5 titles, which is long overdue. Now let's hope this improves the quality of the monthly games as well. And PC gamers won, because Sony drops the PSN account requirement for PC versions of PlayStation games and instead will offer you rewards like early unlocks of outfits if you decide to sign up. Which like a way better way of doing it. Kind of reminds me of how Ubisoft does it. Do you want special Connect rewards and challenges and cross-save? Well, make an account. If you don't do it, no big deal, but then you will miss out. So Spider-Man 2 doesn't have the requirement, God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered also dropped them, and also The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered that is coming in April will not have it, but it instead will give you a reward. Now there's way more gaming news to go over, and if you like these big gaming news roundup videos, leave a like, that would really help me out, so thanks for that, and subscribe, because we post one of them every Sunday. We got many quick shots, news stories I will go over quickly, starting with Rise of the Ronin. Seems like it had a 1-year exclusivity deal on PS5, because it's coming to PC on March 11th for $50. It certainly looks better than on PS5, although the PS5 Pro patch already helped with that. As you might know, I was kinda let down by the game, in particular the really weird story and main missions just did not do it for me. I will leave a link to my review for if you are curious in the video description. So yes, I would totally wait for Assassin's Creed Shadows if you are looking for a big open world game like this, that of course launches 1 week later. Now what I am curious about is this means that Stellar Blade drops on PC in April, which would also be 1 year after the PS5 launch. Now that is totally a game I can recommend, and I will keep you of course posted here. Ubisoft laid off another 185 employees this week, this time in Europe, with cuts hitting many support studios, and they're closing the former DJ Hero studio, Ubisoft Leamington, in England. Very sad news, I hope everyone lands on their feet. They gave a very corporate reason for why they are doing this, but we of course all know that Ubisoft is looking to reduce costs, especially in areas that are not core to their business. The next few months is going to be very important for them. It's going to rely on the performance of Assassin's Creed Shadows and Rainbow Six Siege. Things will change no matter what, but to what degree depends on the success of those two titles. Now early signs are pretty good, like Shadows has been doing well in pre-orders on Amazon and has been #1 in the PlayStation Store, but we will of course see how it shakes out around launch. I will keep you posted here. Want to feel old? Well, the first Dying Light released 10 years ago, and to celebrate that, Techland revealed that they are planning multiple unannounced Dying Light projects. So this after Dying Light The Beast that is still dropping this summer, but we still have no official date. So Dying Light 3 makes sense, maybe they're gonna do more of a multiplayer thing. And a reminder that next to Dying Light, Techland has also been working on a brand new, more fantasy IP that always looked pretty interesting. I'm maybe more curious about what that will be. But yeah, many things going on at that Polish studio. Let me know if you want more Dying Light and are looking forward to The Beast in the comments down below. Then a few more sad quick stories, because also some developers at Sony Bend have been laid off after the cancellation of their new live service IP. Only a few of the contractors that worked at the company were given a full-time contract, while most of them were let go. Like, it of course on one hand makes sense that they won't need that big of a team if they are basically starting from scratch, but it's still sad for those people of course that got let go. But yeah, with them giving full-time contracts to some people, it does make me hopeful that they are indeed making something else. I personally would love to see like something in the Days Gone universe. Doesn't have to be like a sequel, but maybe something smaller that they can release fast for a lower price. Hopefully that can like put Sony Bend on the map again. Otherwise we might go 10 years without a new game from this Days Gone studio, which would be wild. And this week we also heard about changes at Bioware. Basically what I predicted in last week's Sunday video is true. Dragon Age is very likely dead. They will only work on Mass Effect 5 now, and because they don't need a full team working on that project yet, because it's still early, they moved some key members to other EA teams, while also laying off writers and producers on Veilguard. And of course, here once again, I hope those people land on their feet. It is not surprising in particular to see writers let go, because that was totally one of the weaker elements of the game. The Veilguard only did half of what EA expected, so it really feels like Mass Effect 5 is the last chance for Bioware to redeem themselves. but I could also see EA pull the plug before that if things just doesn't come together during the development. Now let's hope the team can prove us wrong and make a special Mass Effect game, but it will be some time before we see it. Now moving on to the rumor roundup, where I give stars, with 3 stars being yes, I believe this, and 1 being no, I don't think this will happen. Maybe you saw this, Sony reportedly developing a new God of War game set in Egyptian mythology. This because Sony is currently casting Middle Eastern actors for an unknown AAA title. Look, I would love to explore the Egyptian mythology in the next God of War. Assassin's Creed Origins is my favorite AC, mostly because of the incredible setting, but I sadly still have to give this rumor 1 star for many reasons. For one, it's from Daniel Richman, who also said 4 years ago that NetherRealm was developing a Marvel fighting game for next-gen consoles. Well, they did not. They were doing Mortal Kombat 1. He also said that a Bloodborne movie is happening and that new Bloodborne games are in development. We just haven't had a leak from him that turned out to be true. It could also be for another Sony game that is set in the Middle East. Like, there are rumors that we get a new Uncharted as well. Also, the teasers we found in Ragnarok actually hinted at an Asian setting for the next God of War, as also noted by the developers. Look, I can see them go crazy and also have a small Egyptian section in the next God of War, or maybe in that Atreus game that, I don't know, I still think it will happen. Like, they know we want this, so they can still give it, but I don't think it will be the setting that is the focus of the next game. But of course, your theories are more than welcome in the comments down below, and I will keep you posted here. Now, this coming week is finally the launch of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You can expect tips and tricks here on the channel, and we will stream the game as well, so you can see if it's for you. We got investor calls for EA, Nintendo, and Take-Two, so likely some info on their upcoming plans. In particular, curious if we learn more about the release windows for Mafia: The Old Country, Borderlands 4, and of course GTA 6. We will have the roundup in the Gaming News Roundup at the end of the week. The new PS Plus Essential games will also drop this coming week: Payday 3, High on Life, and the Pac-Man World Repack. Now sadly no streams from my side this week because I'm somewhere else. You will find out where I am very soon. Don't worry though, I still got a Shadows video planned and maybe more things. So just subscribe to not miss any of it. A like on the video would really help me out. And you can check my most recent Shadows video by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.